Hello. Today we're going to speak information regarding the brain-eating amoeba. Now, brain-eating amoeba means amoeba, all of us know. Amoeba has been with the human mankind for many generations already. Then what we know so far, and we have been knowing aware, is something like amoebic dysentery, abscess in the liver, sometimes in the lung also. These are the common things. Now, the brain-eating amoeba is making waves. There are a couple of deaths in the state of Kerala in India. And the brain-eating amoeba is not new to this place. And even in America in 2018, there are a couple of where it's supposed to be the sanitation is of the best of its kind. They are recorded. In December 2023, a 59-year gentleman who traveled from Thailand to South Korea, he died of brain-eating amoeba. And this is what the making headlines in India right now, because there are a couple of cases in the July, in the last few days, and in June, who died because of the brain-eating amoeba. Amoeba, as we know, is a single-celled living being, and it changes its shape any time. There is a nucleus in that, and then it goes into the human body. And the brain-eating amoeba is special because those who are, say, for example, swimming, and they're diving, like they keeping the head down, and the polluted water goes into the nose. And from the nose, it travels into the brain because there's not much of distance. And once it's in the brain, it produces a condition called primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. That is, because of the amoeba, there is infection and swelling of the brain coverings called meninges and the brain as well. And the mortality, the death rate is more than 70%, 75%. And as of now, most of the patients are youngsters below 14. Of course, that the gentleman 50 years who was named as died in South Korea also is that. That's the sort of exception. But mostly young children. And young children, they like, mainly male children, like playing in the water. And what a way to lose a life, which is so precious to the world and in the future. And the reasons are, they say, for example, somebody is taking bath in a pond, in a lake, where the water is polluted with amoeba. And that travels again. And if there are a few purists who have that, spirituality reason where they put the water through the nose and gargle it and bring it back. And that, okay, that is spiritual way. But that again, the infected amoeba can travel. And people who are bathing in the water parks, now this has become fashion. And the important thing is in the tap water which is polluted. So lakes, rivers, or even the canals, and as I said, mainly the tap water also sometimes, any of these areas where the water is polluted, the amoeba can enter the brain. And the temperatures where it is still active will be anything from 26 to 48 degrees centigrade. So the warm water is the heat harvest. And the mud water again, it thrives. So be watchful about that. And whenever you take a bath, particularly, luckily this hasn't yet spread to the other parts of the country yet. But earlier, some time back, it was recorded in Haryana as well, in Hisar and Jajanpur. So, is there no real rule that it will not spread to other things, but touch wood, we may play a very safe thing and a positive note that may not spread to the other states. And once the enters in the brain, the amoeba, there is what's called incubation period. Incubation period from the time of entry to the problems manifesting is anything around 4 to 14 days. And during this period, individual may develop headache, vomiting, nausea, or epilepsy. Slowly he will go into coma and he may even die. And this is the biggest problem. And the other problem is that yet there are no definitive medicines. There are supplementary medicines, but mostly they are supportive. There are no specific medicines like typhoid. There are medicine. Like TB, there are medicines. Those sort of medicines in brain-eating amoeba, The same medicine what we are using for the amoebic dysentery and all is not working. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen. People are trying the same medicines. There are some other places where they call azithromycin, amphotericin B. Now, of late, particularly the last couple of children who are unfortunate to have this problem, the government of Kerala have imported a medicine called Velfosin. And this is helping out, I believe. And that's an injectable form, because in the emergency that has to be in the injectable form. Velfosin is not a new drug for India. There is a condition called because of the sand fly, there is a leishmaniasis where it's called Kala Azar, the northern India. And this in particular in Bihar, this problem is very common, where the liver, the spleen, and of course the other parts of the abdomen, they increase in size. So this is known, that's called visceral leishmaniasis. It's had some problem in the skin, where the skin become very dark. The same medicine, if this injectable form, it's very helpful in amoebic, that's brain-eating amoeba, that's what they say, but that has to be imported from Germany. It's very costly. But government is trying its best to import that. So basically, in these sort of problems, I always say prevention is better than cure. So whenever you take a bath, be watchful. The government also have, particularly in Kerala state, I suggest put a regulation or a notice saying that infected water, be careful. Like when you go on the road, there are any number of notice boards saying that careful, the dangerous bend and repeatedly prone for accident. The same way. And the tap water, infected tap water, should be very watchful. And people who are swimming, they have a right, but diving, particularly keeping the head down, this may not be a good idea. And then there are what's called nasal clips. They are made of rubber. If you apply over the nose when you are diving, probably the problem is a little bit mitigated. And also boiling the water reasonably before you take. One good part is it doesn't spread from human being to human being. When you drink water contaminated, this brain-eating amoeba is not happening. And it doesn't happen in the seawater. It's only in the ponds, lake, so-called, where the mud water, where the amoeba thrives. So it's not a universal problem. I'm not saying like COVID is going to affect as an epidemic and all, but it's definitely a dangerous proportion, and people are losing lives, so we have to be watchful.
Right.